If you feel like you've been living in a brand new reality since September, you're not crazy. You literally have been. And if you don't learn how to navigate this new world, you'll find yourself glitching between the old timeline and the new. So let me show you exactly how to lock in into timeline A permanently. Remember in October when I said that we had experienced one of the most massive timeline jumps that we had in over 3,000 years? Well, that video went viral. That's because hundreds and thousands of you felt it. You knew exactly what I was talking about. But jumping, that's just the beginning. Now you're probably experiencing things that make no sense. Maybe people that you've known your whole lifetime feel like complete strangers. Maybe your manifestations are completely instant one day and totally blocked the next. And reality itself feels negotiable. That's because you're learning how to operate in a brand new frequency. And I'm going to show you exactly how to master it. For those of you just finding me, hi, I'm Charlie, channeler of the Pleiadian 7. And in my video from October, I spoke about how we had experienced this massive timeline jump. The most massive timeline jump that we had experienced in over 3,000 years. Now, this is something the Pleiadian 7 had been warning me about. They said when the controllers push too hard to traumatize us into submission, instead, it's going to trigger a mass awakening. And millions woke up. We experienced a massive jump. And now we're in a brand new world where the old rules don't apply. Now let's confirm you made the jump. Here are some of the new things that you might be experiencing. Time can feel completely elastic. There are weeks that can feel like hours and hours that can feel like months. You're seeing number synchronicities constantly. And in some ways, it feels like your thoughts are reflected in numbers. People from your past are either leaving suddenly or people are coming back completely transformed. Your body is rejecting things that it would be able to tolerate in the past completely fine, whether it's foods or environments or even people's energies. You know things without even knowing how you know them. Electronics glitch around you more than ever. And this is the big one. You instantly know when someone is in the old timeline. They just feel flat. It's as if they're reading from a script that you already know. Here's what the Pleiadian 7 explained to me. When you are jumping timelines, you're not just shifting vibrational locations. You are literally changing operating systems. Imagine running quantum software on hardware that was designed for dial-up. That's exactly what's happening in your body, but especially in your consciousness. You're experiencing what they call a timeline wobble. This is when you're not fully anchored in the new timeline and you're still connected to the old timeline through things like old agreements and contracts, unhealed trauma that vibrates at the old frequency, relationships that were based on who you were and not who you are becoming, habits and patterns that belong to the old timeline. This is why one moment you'll feel incredibly connected and attuned, but then in the next moment, you'll feel like you're drowning in fears. You're literally oscillating between timelines. Now here's how to stabilize in the new timeline. The Pleiadian 7 have shared the exact protocol. Morning anchor practice. When you first wake up, before you reach for your phone, before you even open your eyes, say to yourself, I'm anchored into my highest timeline. I release all connections to the old world. And feel yourself clicking into place, like a key turning into a lock. This is the 333 timeline stabilizer. Do this when you start to feel that wobble. Take 3 deep breaths and name 3 things that you physically notice in your current reality. Then state 3 things that you are grateful for. This will instantly pull you into timeline A. Energy hygiene. This is non-negotiable. In this new timeline, you will be a lot more sensitive to energy. So here are 3 important things that you must do daily. Cleanse your energy field. However this is for you, it could be super simple, whether it's sage or salt baths. Do this daily. Next is cut energetic cords to people and relationships in the old timeline, and stop consuming old timeline media, especially news that loops fear and shows that glorify dysfunction. The permission slip. Write yourself a letter, giving yourself full permission to be, completely different than how you used to be. Give yourself permission to disappoint the people that knew the old you, to succeed beyond what was possible before. Sign it, date it with today's date. This releases old timeline contracts. In this new timeline, abilities that were dormant will start to come online. Instant manifestation, but this works both ways, so pay attention to your thoughts. Telepathic knowing, you'll start to notice that you'll know things before they even happen. Timeline sight, you'll start to notice which choices lead to which timeline. Energy reading, one glance and you can sense someone's entire frequency. Reality bending, synchronicities respond to your attention. But here's the key, these abilities only work when you are fully anchored in the new timeline. The moment you wobble back into the old fear and insecurities and doubt, the magic disappears. So that's your sign. If you feel that magic slipping, you've been falling back into the old timeline. This is the hardest part. Some people that you love are still in the old timeline. You can tell conversations that used to flow now feel so forced. It's like they can't hear you, and they literally can't. They can't hear you when you speak about consciousness, expansion, and possibilities. And of course they can't hear you because you are speaking different languages, literally different frequency languages, but you can't pull them across. And the Pleiadian 7 are very clear about this. They say that we choose our timeline based on our dominant frequency. So you can fully embody this new timeline, but you cannot drag them across into the new timeline. Because if you do that, you'll get exhausted and eventually you will slip back. But here's what's open to you when you are fully anchored in this new timeline. Healing that was impossible becomes natural. Creative solutions download fully formed. The right people appear at the perfect moment. Resources flow from unexpected sources. Your purpose becomes crystal clear. Time bends to accommodate what needs to happen. So you're not bound by the old timeline's limitations. And you also need to stop referencing it. Or, oh, in the past, I couldn't because, or before I tried this, but, because in this new timeline, you haven't. You haven't tried yet. The Pleiadian 7 show me the next wave coming. Another massive jump in 2026. But here's the truth. You can only truly ride that next wave if you're truly stable in this one. And here's the thing. This old timeline is dissolving whether you're clinging to it or not. The new timeline is solidifying with you or without you. Your only choice is which timeline you want to truly anchor into. And here's my challenge to you in the next 7 days. In the next 7 days, make sure that you live as if you are fully anchored into timeline A. Make choices from this brand new timeline. Speak from that knowing, live from that power, live from that frequency. Watch what happens when you stop wobbling and you fully commit to timeline A. Comment timeline A if you're fully committed to anchoring in. And share this video with someone who you sense has been experiencing that wobble and could use some clarity about this process. So welcome to your new reality. Let's see what we could do here.